So 5-9 concept, what do you mean by 5 to 9 concept? High availability, explain the concept of high availability, measure the improvement, incident response, describe how an incident response plan improve high availability, disaster recovery. So first of all, high availability, 5-9, 99%, 99.999. So which means the system must be available all the time for the user. What is 5 to 9? You see the availability and downtime per year, maybe 87 hours, 36. If that is the downtime achieved, it is 99. If the downtime is 5 minutes in 1 year, yeah, this is where you call about 99.99. 43 minutes, 99.99, 95. So you can see these are the, if the system is not available in 1 year, for that particular time, we measure it accordingly. The 5-9 means the system and services are available 99.99 of the time. It is also mean that the both planned and unplanned downtime is less than 5.26 minutes per year. High availability refers to the system that are component that is continuously in operation for a given length of time to help ensure the high availability. Okay, so basically 5-9 mean, okay, so this is, if you look at this, 5 minutes. So maximum, if the system is down for 5 minutes to 20 second minute, then it means the system is available for 99.999%. Almost 100% is available. Okay, so maximum downtime is allowed 5 minutes. Eliminate single point of failure, design for reliability, detect failure as they occur. So you need to develop and design the system according to that. Environment that require 5-9, although the cost of the sustainable high availability may be too costly for some industry. The finance need to maintain, have high availability for the continuously trading, compliance, and customer trust, of course. So finance industry, you can see, they can't tolerate that the system is down. Health facility require high availability to provide around-the-clock care for patient. And public safety industry require agency that provide security and services for the community, state, and nation. So basically, if somebody called 999 or 911, for example, across the globe, then we know that these systems must be available all the time for the public. So finance, healthcare, and public safety industry, like public safety industry like fire and other industry, they must be available. Right, so the idea is how these systems are available. The retail industry depends upon the efficient supply chain. Threats to availability. Now, because we are discussing the security side, there are many different types of threats to high availability. The threats can range from failure to mission critical. Okay, threats can also include, yeah, even, sir, 1 second, it's me, 1 minute, such as terrorist bombing as well. Okay, designing high availability system. Okay, high availability incorporate these major principles to achieve that. Eliminate or reduce the single point of failure, system resiliency, and fault tolerance. Okay, so high availability, when you define high availability, you must have to achieve these 3 things: elimination of reduction, single point of failure of the device, system resiliency, and fault tolerance. How we can measure the system is high available? An organization needs to know what hardware and software asset they have in order to protect. So where the hardware and software are there. Asset management include the complete inventory of the hardware and software. This means that the organization need to know all the component, every hardware system, every operating system, every hardware network device, every network device operating system, every software application, all firmware. They need to know each in order to achieve 24/7. Okay, then we need to know this, then we can plan ahead. Basically, there is an important concept here which I want to explain. I think Depends in depth. So basically, it depends in how you can achieve that. Diversity referred to changing the control and procedure at different levels. Breaching one layer of the security does not compromise the whole system. An organization may use different encryption algorithm to protect the data of a different state. Obscuring information can also be protecting data and information, and organization should not reveal any information that cyber conniption can use to figure out what version of operating system you are using, for example. Okay. Complexity does not necessarily guarantee security. If the process or technology are too complex, misconfiguration or failure of the comply can result. Simplicity can actually improve the availability. So basically, yeah, this redundancy. Okay. So single point of failure must be identified and addressed. A single point of failure. That's why we discuss about the HSRP. Remember that failure can be specified piece of hardware, process, okay, or data. And the weak link in the chain that can cause disruption. Generally, the solution to single point of failure is to modify the critical operation so that it does not rely on a single element. Can also build redundant component into the critical. And probably one ensure system availability in the event of component failure. Need to have at least one backup component. Yeah. So you are, what do you mean by this? If you have 4 tires in your car, you must have one spare as well. In case of one tire goes down, the other is available. Okay. So always n plus 1. For example, car has 4 tires, then you should have at least one flat tire. Redundancy. So previous was actually related to redundancy as well. And redundancy continue. I think RAID we already know when we store the data. RAID system, the different RAID systems are available. Spanning tree, we know that it is provide the layer 2, stop the layer 2. Okay. Redundancy as well. In case of failure, the other link is open automatically without intervention from the user. Router, I think we use HSRP. Okay. Default gateway, for example, this is virtual system. We are already aware of that. HSRP provide high availability. VRRP, load GLLBP, I think this is already aware. Location redundancy. Yeah, organization will need to consider location redundancy depending upon its need. That is why mostly company they have 2 data center. If they have one data center in UK or in the office, they always have redundancy, a second backup. So primary and backup or disaster recovery point of view. If the primary goes down, the backup is available.
Different location.
Yeah, there might be different physical location as well. System resiliency. Okay. These are all part of the achieving the 5 to 9 approach, 9 to 5 approach. Incident response phases. By the way, what is incident? You people work in the NOC, SOC or support environment. What does the incident mean? Is what?
It's an attack or?
No, incident can be anything. Let's say your link goes down.
Okay.
Let's say the user cannot access the internet, right?
Okay.
Let's say his machine is kept rebooting. That's a kind of an incident. So that's why incident managed through an ITIL platform, and many organizations like NOC, SOC, a NOC environment, for example, where people are 24/7. They are monitoring the system. Okay, they have this incident response incident. So if any incident happen, let's say they picked up the alarm that this device was working fine for let's say 40 days. Suddenly the CPU utilization goes to 70%, 80%, above the threshold. In that case, they open the ticket and then investigate why it happened. So any incident, a link down in incident, CPU utilization up and down is an incident, router goes down an incident, a user reported that I have a problem is an incident as well. So incident response define the procedure that organization follow after an event occur outside the normal range. When an incident occur, and the organization must know how to respond. Organization need to develop an incident response plan to put together computer security CSIRT to manage the response. Incident response has the 4 phases: preparation, detection, containment, and post-incident follow-up. Planning, how we can potentially tackle the incident, discovering the incident, and then how we're responding it. Technology we use: NAC, IDS, IPS, NetFlow. These are the incident response technology. Threat intelligence as well. So disaster recovery you need to be prepared for the disaster recovery as well. In case one office is, for example, have any problem, any flood comes in, any alarms comes in, maybe people cannot access the building for many minutes. So I think, for example, nowadays in China, right? So we have I have some customers, they are working, they have in offices, and they are saying because of the coronavirus, mostly people are working from home in China. But now, how long? So that's why they have developed a remote VPN solution. So where people can log in remotely from the system, and then they can access the same data, connecting to the LAN network. So we need to prepare all these.
There are some organizations that are doing that disaster recovery. They are providing multiple offices for the people to become and join from there.
Yeah.
If they have these kind of disasters.
Yeah. So you can see.
I used to work in that kind of company before.
There, which like nowadays in China or other country, natural disaster is like these corona is also a natural disaster, right? Or maybe flood, maybe storm, right? So you need to prepare that. Human cause maybe can have a disaster as well. Can lead into the disaster. Labor events, for example, strike, walkouts, slowdown, social political event, okay, war, material event. Also, so we need to prepare a network according to these as well. Business continuity plan, you need to define documentation, configuration, establishing, providing power. This is all part of the write-up policy, identify critical system, identify vulnerability, identify, implement. Yeah, that's just. Okay. Any questions so far?